with Notre Dame inches away from its second touchdown. 4th and goal for the Irish. They will go for it. Johnson 22, Green 24. The backs. Eilers is the wingman.
I would think they'd run to the wing play.
Johnson, Rice on the keeper, and he didn't make it. They ran away from the wing, and Stanford stopped them at the goal line. What a great defensive stand by the Cardinals.
It's as good as I have ever seen, Mike. At Notre Dame, first time you've ever been to Notre Dame, and they stopped them nose to nose on 3 straight plays. Let's see who makes the play here.
Archambault is the first guy through, and he knocks Rice feet out from under him.
I don't see. Yeah, there it is. The ball just short of the goal line there. Tunney did a great job, but Archambault made the play, Mike. You're right.
Johnson, quarterback keeper, trying to get out of the end zone. Notre Dame stuffs him, and the Irish wanted a safety out of it, and they almost got it. The officials talking about it. There has been no signal yet.
They're talking fumble here, I think, Mike. I think Notre Dame thinks they got the ball.
And they did. Holy cow.
Brian Johnson, number 5, drops the snap, drops it right at his feet. See it right between his legs, and then he kicked it. Your guess is as good as mine. Who got it?
Well, from the angle we had, hard to tell what had happened. The officials signaling to each other. It took them a long, long time to make the call. That is the second Stanford turnover. This may be asking a lot of Stanford's defense to hold them again. Johnson, touchdown. Excuse me, Green.
For 2, they're leaving their offensive team on the field, Mike.
Tough thing to happen for that Stanford defense after they had made the great defensive stand, walk off the field for one play, and have the ball handed back to Notre Dame.
Well, there's no excuse that you drop your snap on the 1-yard line, your own 1-yard line. I mean, that's the first thing you need to take care of is get the ball from the center.
They'll come out to go for 2, leading 12-0. On the out. 2 points, Notre Dame. And a flag down at the end of the play. Rice was able to waltz into the end zone on that one.
Here's a touchdown from a side angle. Green, you're going to see him. He didn't get in by much. Stanford right there again, but he definitely gets the ball right there over the plane. 2-point conversion. They tried up the middle and had their problems, so they decide to go to their bread and butter wide with Rice. He'll get in, but watch Rob Engelhardt here, number 39 at the end of this play. Hello.
Oh. And they'll penalize that one on the kickoff. 14:44 to go first half. It's Notre Dame by 14 over Stanford.
.44 to go here, second quarter. Notre Dame leading 14-0.
And that 15-yard penalty assessed against Notre Dame or against Stanford, so they go with a short kickoff taken by one of the up men short of the 20-yard line, only gets it back to the 18, and that was Tony Masici, one of the reserve inside linebackers on special teams. Storyline Notre Dame. Rice already with 93 yards in offense and a touchdown. Stanford has made 2 turnovers here in the first half. Johnson is off to a terrible start passing, and he fumbled on his own 1-yard line to set up the last touchdown.
Both turnovers, Mike, are his.
For sure. Pitch to Volpe, trying to get to the outside. He's got some speed and power. Chased out of bounds as he crossed the 25.
a good call, Mike. You don't need power. They've had trouble powering the ball against Notre Dame. They use Volpe's speed, a quick pitch to the outside. It's not hard to read, but you've got to outrun Volpe, and they didn't do it. He got to the corner, and he picked up about 5 yards. Stanford just got to establish something here so they can pass the ball.
And this penalty flag with a face mask is going to help Stanford's offense. Now one of the officials is coming over to talk to Lou Holtz at the Notre Dame sideline. Explain to him what happened.
Well, I think that hit by Engelhardt. Let's get the call here.
Face mask, 5 yards, first down.
That hit by Engelhardt in the end zone, I'm sure did not go unnoticed by the Notre Dame players. And what he may be talking about is things may be getting a little crazy down there. Notre Dame very emotional to begin with. But when you start taking cheap shots at your quarterback that your offense is built around, things can get pretty heavy.
And I'm sure Brian Johnson was standing on the sideline saying, don't rough up the quarterback, guys. Because I got to go back out there. Johnson rolls to the near side under pressure, and he is dumped. Bob Dahl, 248-pound sophomore, came through untouched.
Key to this Notre Dame team is that their young players are playing, so a lot of them are starters. Dahl is not. Does a good job of getting his hands on the blocker. Johnson trying to get outside. He just doesn't get any blocking. Dahl makes the play. The run and shoot, you got to run before you can shoot. Johnson not able to get anywhere.
Stanford unable to get anything going with a 2-yard average on offense. Notre Dame averaging 6. And it's 14-0 with 13:57 to go in the quarter. Johnson in the place where he doesn't want to be second long. Stonebreaker on the blitz was stopped once, and then the ball thrown out of bounds, intended for Pinckney. Covered by Pat Terrell, the free safety, number 15 at the sideline.
Number 42 in the Navy shirt, as good as they come, but he tipped this thing like mad. I mean, you knew he was coming. Look how he protected his legs there. Volpe tried to cut him. Stonebreaker was able to keep his legs, keep his feet, get off the block, and get into the quarterback. It's a pretty good play from a guy that big. Guy who sat out a year, remember, but defense is more reaction anyway. I don't think you lose as many skills defensively when you sit out.
3rd and 16. Walsh in motion. Johnson rolls to the near side. Throws to Young across the 30 to the 32-yard line. He's dumped by Todd Light, the left corner, and far short of a first down.
Stanford's average per completion coming in 10 yards. They're staying to that short passing game, but that's the second time they completed a pass short of the first down marker, Mike. These guys have got to get past there before they hit him with the ball.
Remember, this is a Stanford team that lost by 4 to Southern Cal and 4 to Oregon. And Notre Dame is just roughing them up all over the field on offense and defense. Blaisdell to punt to Waters. Straight up in the air, but takes a bad bounce. It may go back to the line of scrimmage. Got it out to the 47-yard line, a 14-yard punt for Jeff Blaisdell, and that's a long walk back to the Stanford sideline. We'll be back in a minute. The exciting new Mazda cars and trucks for 1989 by the U.S. Armed Forces. It's a great place to start, and by 7-Up, feels so good coming down. Mike Patrick, Kevin Kiley, and Chris Fowler and our entire ESPN crew with you from South Bend, where Notre Dame is leading Stanford 14-0 with 13 minutes to go, first half of play. Rice, who is perfect through the air, back to throw, completes it at the near sideline to Pat Eilers, and Rice is 5 for 5 through the air. And if this young man can throw the ball this way with Notre Dame's ground attack, you're looking at a possible national champion.
I agree, Mike. What I want to see is him throw the ball under pressure in a close game. I have to tell you, a lot of these guys have been wide open. Engelhardt for Stanford caught out of position on that one, and another easy completion.
5 out of 5, 62 yards for Tony Rice out of Woodruff, South Carolina. Full house backfield again. Waters, and a nice play by Engelhardt, who slipped around the block and made the tackle. Let's check in with Tim Brando.
All right, Mike, I've got storyline Philadelphia, PA at the vet. Temple back in punt formation. How many times have we seen this with Joe Paterno coach teams? Andre Collins blocks the punt. Willie Thomas scoops it up, runs 42 yards for the touchdown. The Nittany Lions are smarting, you know, because they lost last week 14-0. They lead Temple. Back to Mike.
Thank you, Tim. And yeah, how many times have we seen the Joe Paterno team block punts and field goals? 2nd and 14 Irish. Under some pressure this time, wants the screen to Brooks and threw that one poorly. And a flag is down, maybe a late hit on Rice. And Engelhardt was right in his face again.
Yeah, it was Engelhardt back there. Number 39, Rob Engelhardt. They say he's just learning. Well, one of the things he's going to have to learn is not to do this.
Oh.
They had that play defense. He could have stopped. I think that's probably the ruling.
And it will move it all the way to the 22.
Roughing the passer, automatic first down.
So Stanford would have been in a 3rd and 14 situation on defense. One of the few times they have been in a good situation. And Engelhardt picks up his 2nd personal foul in about 3 minutes against Rice.
Tough to go back to the huddle on those. You just throw your helmet in there and stand by the sideline.
Brooks in it, tailback behind Johnson. Brooks gets the call. Big hole. Brooks inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. John O'Tunney and Mike Newton made the tackle.
Anytime you get pressure defensively, a draw is a good call. Archambault, 72. He takes the outside rush, and he's out of the play. Takes himself out of the play. Never gets blocked. He just gets screened out. Good call by Notre Dame on first down.
Ball spotted at the 12, 2nd and a yard for the Irish. Green back into tailback. He's 24, Johnson 22, the fullback. Johnson on the first option inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. 1st and goal, Notre Dame. And Kevin, they are making it look easy.
Well, the worst thing that can happen is when your defense is on the field, the offense is doing nothing, and you're just playing against a big physical team like Notre Dame.
Keep you up to date on some of these scores. Tennessee got hammered again. Oregon State over Fresno State. That's a final. A couple of major comebacks today in college football. And remember, Tim Brando and Bino Cook and Lee Corso will be in our studio to update you on everything later. Brooks on the toss. Touchdown, Notre Dame. Brooks with his first rushing touchdown of the season. 110 yards last week against Purdue in his first start, and Reggie Ho wants to come on and make this kick. He's missed an extra point in the field goal. Good snap, good hold, and Reggie Ho knocks this one through.
Okay, you're playing defense for Stanford. Not hard to read again. It's eye power. Notre Dame's been running it all day. You don't want this guy to turn upfield. He's tough. Brooks. This is a pretty good hit by Newton. Watch number 33. Now, you're talking Brooks weighs 218. Newton's 195 pounds. He's coming inside out. The initial contact is great. I mean, he sticks his hat in there, but he never got his shoulders in front of him. And a guy like that is just too tough. He dragged in.
Stanford on the season giving up less than 14 points a game. They've already given up 21 here. 10 minutes, 45 seconds to go. Second quarter from Notre Dame, and the Irish rolling 21-0. Alan Grant, number 2. Kevin Scott, number 3. Deep to receive. Billy Hackett's kicked. And so far, Stanford with only 39 yards in offense. Notre Dame with 172. Grant from the 7. Hurdled one tackler and driven out of bounds as he got to the 32-yard line. Notre Dame finishes off that 46-yard drive with Brooks' 5-yard run. It only took 2:15. And Stanford has turned the ball over a couple of times and really hurt itself here in the first half.
Yeah, Mike, I think that turnover on the 1-yard line just killed them. Stanford's average starting point on 5 possessions tonight, 13-yard line.
Johnson, 2 out of 7, 18 yards passing. And this is out of a passing offense. Volpe, the lone setback. Straight back to throw, quick count. Gets it out to the sideline to Henry Green. And this is the best core of receivers Stanford has had in a long time, even though Ed McCaffrey, who would have been their best receiver, has not been able to play this year because of a bad thigh bruise.
Well, yeah, I don't really think this is not a problem of receivers at this point, Mike.
No.
I just don't think they've had time, and they're physically overmatched at this point in the game. Notre Dame just appears to be so much stronger than Stanford.
Johnson would give anything for 3 seconds to throw the ball without somebody in a blue shirt in his face. Gain of 9 on the last play, 2nd and 1. Volpe will try to pick it up and does. He's got some speed across midfield into Notre Dame territory to the Irish 49. Let's check in at the sideline with Chris Fowler. Chris?
Okay, Mike, injury report for Notre Dame. Their starting tight end, Frank Jacobs, the sophomore, has a foot injury. He was just x-rayed in the Notre Dame locker room. The next x-rays, are negative. Doctors will reevaluate at halftime whether he will return, but he will not be back in the first half. The Irish don't lose that much when they put in the talented freshman there, Derek Brown, Mike.
Chris, thanks very much. And, of course, Chris got lucky again tonight. It was pouring here earlier, and now we don't have any chance of rain. Chris doesn't even have the umbrella down there on the sideline. Johnson on that little half roll, shovel pass to Walsh. Nice play, and they pick up about 6 yards. Ned Bolcar, number 47, into the Notre Dame lineup, made the tackle from his linebacker spot.
When you have a team that's so fundamentally sound like Notre Dame, they know exactly what they're doing. Drop it into coverage. You see Bolcar 47. They get real deep, and that's why that little shuttle pass is a really good pass. Stanford did a great job deceiving him. Walsh able to get in there and get some good yardage, and that's something to make you think defensively. Anytime you got to think defensively, you're in trouble.
2nd and 3. Johnson, quick timing pattern, and Green is plastered as he got to the 36-yard line. Juan Francisco drilled him in the back and made him cough it up.
Well, there are 2 things that a quarterback should not do on a pass. One is throw it high, and the other is throw it behind the receiver. And Green will tell him he threw that one high and behind Green, and he got about what you're going to get.
8:56 to go in the first half. If you just joined us, it's been all Irish. 21-0. Stanford has had 3 first downs in the half. Irish coming on the blitz. They may have gotten there early, and Volpe on the draw, which is a big running play out of this run-and-shoot type offense. He's down at the 37-yard line. Should be a first down, and it is. Stonebreaker made the tackle.
I want you to look at how they jump. Watch how quick they get back. Look at this. They all jumped, and they all got back. I mean, that's some pretty good discipline there and great athletic ability. Of course, they didn't stop the first down. But I
looked like something out of a chorus line.
Yeah, I mean, they jumped and they were back.
A 1 and a 2. Jack Elway really has to be concerned, although this is the first time his ball club has moved to the roll. Good protection for Johnson. This time a little high, but Volpe made the catch and reaches the Notre Dame 30. He was covered by Wes Pritchett, the middle linebacker.
Volpe's 5'6 and a half, Mike, and he's got to go back and see, look, I'm 5'6 and a half. He's going to be 5'4 and a half if he throws too many like that.
Got to go throwing those 9-foot passes.
Yeah, Johnson throwing the ball high. That too was behind Volpe a little bit.
2nd and 4. Stanford with his best drive of the ball game. Young comes in motion back to the near side. Volpe again tries the middle, picks up a couple. He'll be a little shy of the first down. Pritchett, number 34, in there on the tackle again, along with George Williams, number 69, and Frank Stams, number 30.
You wonder why a team comes out, plays so poorly offensively, and then all of a sudden, one thing is Notre Dame is not going to pressure as much. They're playing more of a base defense, and Stanford has established a couple of things, and they put it in Notre Dame's mind. They might go back here, they might go back there. You play a little more tentatively. Stanford's just playing better offensively now.
3rd and a yard. Volpe on the delay. Stonebreaker, 42, came through there, messed up the timing of the play, George Williams came up to finish it off, and Stanford will be again shy of the first down.
Well, I don't know. A draw play on third down is a very dangerous call because these guys are all going to be coming. They think you're going to run the ball anyway. Stonebreaker coming in. Great reaction to slow down Volpe, and then the rest of the defense right there. I don't know that that's a great call. Stanford a little bit of disadvantage. I don't think they can push him out. They don't think they can move him out on third and short.
Fourth and a yard. We'll see what they do this time. Another blitz. The pitch to Volpe. It depends on the mark, but it looks like he should have the first down. Stonebreaker and Flash Gordon were there.
That's a great individual effort by Volpe. You're right. They had two linebackers there, and Volpe, he was hit, and he just managed to get airborne and carried over.
And they mark it very close to the Notre Dame 26. It is a first down.
Irish very proud of the fact that they have not given up very many drives. This is a pretty good drive to this point with Stanford.
Only giving up 258 yards a game, 9 points a game, one of the leaders in the nation. Young, reverse action, spins off one tackle inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. Notre Dame converges on him at that point and brought him down. Young is a tailback, so he's very used to carrying the ball. This is the first year Stanford has gone to a run and shoot, and Jack Elway was very careful to tell us, Kevin, it's not their entire offense. This is just a part of their offense, although they do use it a whole lot.
Yeah, well, elements of the run and shoot they've had in their offense for a number of years. And he likes wide open. He's that type of coach. He likes a wide open offense. You notice the plays that they do run are trick plays, draws, little reverse here and there.
And then goes to Batson inside the 15. Batson covered very well by George Streeter, but Johnson, who's had an excellent second quarter after a terrible start, whistled that one in there.
I think you watch his feet on this play. He's a lot more settled than he was. He goes back. He's going to look around. He looks into the defensive secondary. Watch his feet, how he sets him. See how he sets him? He turned his shoulders, everything. He set him, and he was able to drill the ball right in there. That's good quarterback play.
First and 10, Stanford. Could have run, throws to the goal line, and it's knocked down by the left corner, Todd Light. Got his hand in front of the receiver, Henry Green. And Kevin, I think one reason that Stanford is playing better is, well, let's take a look at this replay.
Well, you see all the green. You said earlier he could have run the ball. He could have run the ball, but go ahead. What were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say the fact of what we talked about at the beginning of the telecast. You come into this stadium and know all the great players and the great games that have been played here. You have to be a little nervous. I don't care who you are. And if you never saw him play, you've got to be a little excited about it. Best drive of the game for Stanford. Comes the blitz. Draw to Volpe. 10, 5. And he stopped just shy of the goal line. Tough run. George Streeter and Francisco had to make the tackle to save the touchdown. Great call against the blitz.
This guy is a heck of a back, Volpe. What Volpe does here, watch him read the thing. He gets the ball. I mean, he's dead. Here come the inside backers. Both inside backers are coming. Volpe slips one, and then he's got that great speed. He's able to pick his way through the secondary and almost get us. See, now if he was almost dropped the ball. If he was 5'7", and a half, he'd have got in.
First and goal. Young now sets as a running back. Keeper. Touchdown, Stanford.
Big drive, Mike. Big drive for Stanford. And also, I think the defense probably was at the point of just being totally demoralized. That'll really pump their defense up. I think their defense has played pretty well.
It really has. The two turnovers have really hurt the defense. Of course, one occurred at the 1-foot line, and Notre Dame had that very short touchdown drive. Stanford is not a team that you can really overlook. Not with those great games against Southern Cal and Oregon. Hopkins on for the point and 6 out of 6 this year. Blast that one through. So Stanford on the board with 4:35 to go in the first half. They're down 21-7.
Andy Sinclair is their guy, 54. He's 280 pounds, and Johnson does a nice job finding the hole over Papathanassiou.